Dear students, today let us learn economics first chapter, natural resources. Resources is a broad term indicating all the materials that humans use in conducting their economic activities of production, exchange and consumption. Resources are the gift of nature without which the survival of life is impossible. The sunlight, water, air, forest, soil, biodiversity, mineral ores, such natural resources are vital for our survival. Natural resources are naturally occurring substances that are considered valuable in their natural form. Natural resources are generally classified into two types. They are renewable and non renewable resources. Renewable resources. Some natural resources get replenished as we use them. These resources are called renewable resources. They are also called non exhaustible resources. Water, land, forest, air, sunlight, and heat are some of examples for renewable resources. Non-renewable resources. Some natural resources get depleted as we go on using them. Eventually, they are emptied and cannot be created again. These resources are known as exhaustible resources. Minerals like iron ore, copper, gold, manganese, bauxite. Fuel like coal, petroleum, natural gas, uranium, thorium. Such resources get depleted and cannot be renewed. Nature cannot replenish them through its process, and so they are known as non-renewable resources. Resources can also be classified as biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are those that are derived from living organisms, and abiotic resources are those that are derived from non-living components of the nature. While plants and animals are biotic resources, water, soil, minerals are abiotic resources. Scarcity of resources. Human wants are unlimited, but the resources to satisfy these wants are limited, which gives rise to the problem of scarcity. The growing population, rapid industrialization, and urbanization have created a heavy demand on all these materials. The main factors of increasing scarcity of resources are: first one, overpopulation. Per minute, 49 babies take birth in our country, but resources are not increasing. It creates great demand for natural resources. The increasing population requires additional land for growing additional food and providing shelter, which is met through conversion of forest land into agricultural land and agricultural land into residential, commercial and industrial land. Growing industrialization. With the increasing industrialization, extraction of mineral ores, crude oil and water increase, resulting in emptying of mines, oil wells and water sources. Expanding urban areas. A place where a huge population lives in a small area is called the urban area. Naturally, there is a great demand for resources and generation of waste is very high. This result reduction in quality and quantity of resources. According to Food and Agricultural Organization, more than 50% of all types of forest, agricultural and wetlands surrounding urban and semi-urban areas have been lost through conversion to other uses. Atmospheric pollution. With the greater burning of fossil fuel like coal, diesel and petrol, more harmful elements like carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, soot and dust get into the air, polluting it. This reduces the availability of clear air. Water pollution and land degradation. When the human, hospital, industrial and other waste are dumped into the open space, they affect the land and water, reducing the quality as well as availability. Water is also polluted by the agricultural and household activities. The ways to overcome scarcity of resources are exploration and discovery of new sources of resources, discovering substitutes and alternatives, increasing the efficiency of resource use. Government policies to regulate overuse of resources and pollution. Educating people about conservation of resources and less polluting ways of doing everyday activities. Conservation of resources. The rapid increase in resources use and their degradation result in serious problems to mankind. We may not get pure water to drink, clean air to breathe. Many resources may be exhausted. The biodiversity may decline and the earth itself become a waste dump. To avoid all these problems, we have to conserve all the natural resources. Conservation of resources means not to waste them but use them judiciously so that there is a balance between natural and our use of natural resources. Conservation has been defined as the management of the biosphere for the benefit of all life, including mankind, so that it may yield sustainable benefit to the present generation while maintaining its potential to meet the needs and aspirations of the future generations. Conservation of resources is the responsibility of all of us. To conserve our natural resources, we can adopt 4R strategy, which means reduce, reuse, recharge or regenerate, and research. Now, let us understand the meaning of 4R strategy in briefly. Reduce. Reduce refers to minimize the use of resources and their wastage, or trying to use less amount of any resource. It will also reduce pollution. Reuse. Using the resources again and again. It is a very simple but effective way to conserve resources. Every resource has not only alternative uses but can be used multiple times. Recharge and regenerate. It refers to taking steps to allow the resources to grow through conscious human efforts. All rainwater harvesting effort, recharge groundwater, afforestation recharges, tree stock and biodiversity. Research. Researching ways to find renewable alternatives to non-renewable resources. Solar or wind energy is a renewable alternative to the energy we use. Ways to conserve resources. Purchase less stuff. Reduce excess packaging. Recycle materials like metal cans, old cell phones, and plastic bottles. Purchase products made from recycled materials. Keep air and water clean by not polluting the environment. Plant new trees to replace ones that we cut down. Drive lesser. Take public transportation, bicycle or walk. Conserve energy at home. Reducing our ecological footprint. The World Wildlife Fund has devised a measure called as the ecological footprint, which gives an idea about the extent of consumption of resources and waste generation by a country or by an individual in a country. This indicator is an estimate of the amount of space on the earth that an individual uses in order to survive using existing technology. This space includes The biologically productive land and water, area that produces the resources consumed by that individual, such as food, water, energy, clothing, and building materials. It also includes the amount of land and water required to assimilate the waste generated by that person. The World Wildlife Fund defines a country's ecological footprint as the sum of all the cropland, grazing land, forest and fishing grounds required to produce the food, fiber and timber it consumes, to absorb the waste emitted when it uses energy, and provide space for infrastructure. The report of World Wildlife Fund of 2014 found that in 2010 the global ecological footprint was 18.1 billion global hectares. This means that the people of the earth needed 18 billion hectares of productive land in order to provide each and every person with the resources they require to support their lifestyle and to absorb the waste they produced. But only 12 billion global hectares are available for people. Ways to reduce ecological footprint. At first, food. Buy organic food or locally grown produce. Have a kitchen garden. Bring our own bags to the store. Buy and eat fewer processed foods. Instead of drinking a juice box, eat a piece of fruit. Eat less meat and dairy. You can get protein from other sources. Eat at home instead of ordering out. Energy or electricity. Put off all lights when not in use. Turn the air conditioner and heater off at night. Get outside. Outside activities are fun and take less energy. Keep doors and windows shut when heating or cooling the house. Transportation. Walk or ride your bicycle to school. Take public transportation. Carpool when where you are going is too far to walk. Creating less waste. Buy product with the least amount of packaging possible. Ask for no bag when you buy something you can carry without one. Recycle as much as possible. Mend things that are broken. Donate old items to someone who can use them. Buy items that can be used over and over. Reuse water bottles. Water. Turn off the tap while brushing your teeth. Don't pour toxics down storm drains. Run only full loads in your dishwasher or washing machine. Put a bricks in your toilet tank. Community. Educate people in the community about their ecological footprint and what they can do to make it smaller. Join a group that works to make local rivers and streams healthier. Get involved with a recycling program. Do an energy auditing of your school and see how it can save money and electricity. Try calculating your school's ecological footprint and get classes to work together. Thus, with simple steps, we can make a big difference to conservation of resources and reducing our pressure on the environment.